advice.
But in the synagogue, we were forbidden to get married.
Forbidden?
Forbidden. If you go to the synagogue now, you will see lot of elderly women. They entered there when they were young, when they were virgin. But TB Joshua has sexually abused everybody.
What do you mean abuse?
Well, I'm a woman. Possibly as an African, I should be ashamed, but this is what happened. TB Joshua had sex with all the girls under him.
Including you? Including you?
Including me, sir. At the time, I started noticing...
But why do you say all the girls? Those are thousands of women.
Oh. It's not for maybe for fun.
It's not for fun?
No, it's not for fun. It's something he must do.
You want to say it's ritual, it's ritualistic.
That's what I'm trying to say, sir.
Explain that. You have to prove that somehow.
Yes, I will prove it. And I will say that's why we are here today. When I joined the synagogue, when I had issues, and a family friend suggested that we should go to the synagogue. When we got there, God has given me one gift. I may not want to say, everybody has their gift. Before that time, I had a dream that I was in my family house and I saw a man standing in front of our family house. So when we got to the synagogue, they occupied us with videos of different things. That is what, the first manipulation and brainwashing usually starts from. So we were locked down throughout the day to watch films. It's like going to a cinema. So at the evening of that day, when the man came out, I saw somebody standing right in front of me. I was trying to, goggle in my mind. It's like maybe I've known this person somewhere before. At the end of the day, I realized that, I once saw him in my dream. And this is exactly what goes on in the world. That I will use, sorry, maybe I should use FATAI or TB Joshua because he just Christianized his name. He's not a Christian. His name is FATAI.
Oh, his name is FATAI?
Yes, his name is FATAI. If you look at the back of my book, you see that it's on Muslim regalia.
So he was a Muslim?
He's still a Muslim, and he's an herbalist. He's an occultist.
Wow.
He knows nothing about Christianity. All things that he's just doing is just using it to patch, as we're saying, syncretism, deception, falsehood, just to deceive people.
So he's a voodoo man, he's a witch doctor.
That's right, sir. So by the time after the service, he has already sent someone to me that he would like to see me. Anytime he moves around among his congregation, he's always looking for something in people. Remember the 3 wise men saw the Star of David.
Yeah.
So these people, they can see. These people I'm talking about. So he always look around, looking for something in somebody. When I got to his office, he asked me, have I ever seen him in his dream? In my dream? I said yes. He wrote something like Arabic on a piece of paper and said I should take it home and put it under my pillow. That was it. Ever since, I always hear his voice in my ears, and I always see him in my dreams. He does not only have sex with me physically, he also do that in his dream. So after I left, they said we need to go for deliverance. That is what nobody preached Jesus Christ to me. Nobody asked me if I was a Christian or not. They will just ask you, go for deliverance, go for healing, go for this, go for that. So then we were taught how to package our words. They said you have to say it in a way that it will move the congregation. If you are saying this is my story, they will say no, you have to, they have to help you to tailor it and package it. Because everybody were desperate. We don't know God, we don't know God's word.
Because you had a situation at hand, you had a problem, right?
Yes. Whatever was suggested to us is what we do. Just because we want
miracle,
an easy way out. So at the end of the day, during his congregation time, he tried to stretch his hand, maybe to fall me. I didn't fall. So we met him back in the office, and he said, okay, I can go home. But he asked me one question: what can you say about me? This is a satanic man trying to use the word of Jesus Christ in the book of Mark 7:28. What do people say about me?
Yes.
So he always asks people, what can you say about me? Well, we always tell him what he wants to hear. And he said, okay, so what's my decision now? I said, I want to go back to Kano because I was living in Kano then. He said, am I sure I want to go back to Kano? I said, yes. So I went back to Kano. But the moment I was inside the plane, I was working with Okada Air, with Kramachan Bank at that time. As I was in the plane, I noticed that I heard his voice in my ears. And by the time I got back to Kano, I became confused. There was no telephone communication at that time. So I came back to Lagos to ask that I've just been restless. I've not been able to concentrate to move on. So it's like I've not really received any miracle. So he said, okay, that God has told him that he wants to make use of me. At that time, what will I do? Anytime I sleep at that time, I always find myself in the synagogue. I believe something, has been tampered into, spiritually.
Yeah, he had hypnotized you through that thing.
Yes. So I agreed. So after staying there like a week,
they have a place where you sleep there in that church?
Yeah, at that time it wasn't like this. Some people they sleep on the floor. It was still very, that's in the 90s. But some people they, because of desperation, some people are looking for the fruit of the womb, some people are looking for jobs, some people are looking for this. Because people do not know God. So everybody just wants a shortcut. So I was asked to go to the studio. He said he likes me, and God has already told him that he should trust me with his, with certain responsibilities. So I was in the studio. So it happened one day, just not too long when I joined. He asked somebody to call me. And I noticed that I was not called into his office. I was called into his bedroom.
He had a bedroom in the church.
Please, don't call the place church.
Okay. Oh.
You see, I've been picking my words.
In the synagogue.
In the synagogue, better.
Okay.
I will have suggested in the shrine.
Okay.
Synagogue shrine. So then I was ushered into his bedroom. He asked me, at that time, we don't eat meat, we don't eat fish.
In that synagogue, they don't eat meat or fish?
That's right. At that time. It's still part of what Timothy is saying, that in the latter time, some people will follow doctrine of demons, forbidding people to marry, forbidding people to eat certain food. If anybody wants to confirm this, they should go there. All the choir girls, many of them, they are in their 40s now. This guy refused them to marry.
Wow.
If any of them is, if any of them is your sister or your, somebody close to you, will you be happy? So, and I was there. He said, "Oh, I hope I was coping with their life." I said, "Well, I'm trying my best." So he said, "Okay, that anything I need, I should come to him. That I'm just free. Is everything to me. He will help me to forge ahead in life." I said, "Okay." I thought it's just for a little while. So I left his room. Then I went back to the studio. After like 10 minutes, he called me again. The second time I went there, I saw that there was no light in his bedroom. He only put a candle light. And he was sitting on a chair with a white towel on his waist. I was standing by the door, but he asked me to come in. Why I was standing at the door was because I saw that his towel was shifted a little bit, and his manhood was exposed. So I didn't know if it was intention. I did not want to embarrass him. So I knelt down and face down. But he reached out to me and dragged me. And he used his hand to place my hand right on top of his manhood. And he was repeating the same thing he has told me earlier. So he said, okay, I was a little bit reluctant because I was afraid. So after he said I should go, then during the service, I was so worried. I was thinking within my mind that what have I done? His office is quite different from my office. But I was just thinking that, have I given him, did I behave anyhow towards him for him to respond to me that way? I was also praying to God that maybe what transpired in that room may not make him to be able to do certain miracles that he usually do. So I was just feeling for the system, not knowing that it's only me that had issues. I didn't know what was going on there. While I was coming out of his room, I saw some girls standing in front of his room, which is just normal. Anytime you want to go into the service to meet congregation, you must step up or step down with having sex with a woman.
What do you mean step up, step down? What is that?
I don't know what he's using that for. Anytime you want to go into service, you must have sex with a girl.
Wow.
This man usually is virgin even as young as 8 years or 10 years old girls.
This is.
I'm sure he can listen to me now.
Yeah.
If he has any problem with me, he take him to the law court. In Lagos now, in High Court, if anybody can go there, there is a case against him where he slept with 3 girls, underage 3 girls.
What
In
age?
the court case.
What age?
11, 13, 14.
So it's an open case in court.
It's an open case in court. Anybody can go there to go and verify.
And you were there for 14 years, you said?
Yes.
So,
Under hypnotism.
so you know this for a fact?
I know it for the truth.
Not just fact, but truth.
Even some truth. Even sometimes there are about 5 or 6 girls together with him. He will be naked, the girls too will be naked. I've been involved in that too.
Wow.
FATAI TB Joshua does not know blood sisters. He does not know mother and child. He sleeps with anybody.
With the mother and the children.
Yes.
And
yes.
the same siblings, sisters.
Yes. Yes.
And
I can be giving you. That is why in the book, the names in the book are the real people names.
You put the real
Nobody
names in the book. Let's see the book.
Yes.
Where can people get this book?
It's on Amazon.
What is the title of the book?
It's the TB Joshua I Know.
The TB Joshua I Know. This your book is going to sell today. Oh. It's going to become hot cake. So you wrote all these things in that book?
I wrote everything that I can remember. And Holy Spirit helped me. That even some names that have, years back, they were just coming back.
So you were involved with him with like 5 women doing sex with all of you?
5, yes. What do they call that?
Group sex.
They call it.
I think they call it group sex. Group sex. Huh? Gang rape or gang rape. Something like that. Or group sex.
Anytime you enter into the synagogue, he will tell you should send your parents away. So he asked me to go and tell my mother that my mother is a witch.
Oh.
And I sent my mother away. When my father died, I did not have opportunity to go and to go for his burial.
So you said he had to sleep with a woman who is not his wife, with some woman before he goes to the pulpit, and when he comes back from the pulpit, he must sleep with another one?
Yes. Even his wife knew everything that is going on. I'm telling you gospel truth.
Wow.
I'm telling you gospel truth. This guy thought, when I left there, remember when you came to Nigeria 2008?
Yes.
You wanted to see me.
Yes.
But I was on deathbed because this guy thought I have known too much.
You were about to die.
He wanted to remove me. Even he has already told the disciples that I left there that, Bisola is already dead. When I met one disciple on the street, this girl called Diola, she almost ran into a moving vehicle. She thought she saw a ghost. Oh. Remember, I sent you some audio voices.
Yes.
You didn't listen to them?
No. I have them. I have them though.
Please listen to them. There is a woman who came all the way from America. This lady was turned to a mad woman in America for 10 years. When she visited synagogue, she was given food on white handkerchief.
What does that mean?
Well, maybe if somebody should ask TB Joshua, he will explain. Ever since, this lady has been hearing voices in her ears.
Food on a white handkerchief, and she lost her mind for 10 years.
She lost her mind for 10 years. It's only God who saved her so that she can give her testimony today.
So that is one of the recordings you gave me.
Yes, one of the recordings.
Okay.
I think you should listen to it.
I will listen. Galina,
because
yes.
Because sometimes, when some former disciples call me, I don't want anybody to lie, because they will always say that, why is the only Bisola talking? Why is the only Bisola talking? I have many people on my Facebook, they can only talk to me in my inbox, say you are doing the right work, you are doing the right, work. I said, well, I'm not doing it for you.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you were sleeping with him for 14 years, you never got pregnant?
There's a way we do pregnancy, sir.
Tell us about that.
It's abortion.
So you are doing abortion for TB Joshua?
That's right.
And not just you?
Not only me. Not only me. Not only me.
And he knew about these abortions, of course.
Just like what Jezebel did to those Enoch. He castrated them. He took away their
manhood.
Their manhood. He castrated them so that they can be eating crumbs under his table.
So you are saying that's what he did for you, ladies?
That's what he did. That's what he's still doing.
That he incapacitated the women so that they would be eating crumbs on the table, that they would be helpless and they would not be able to object his opinion. That's what you're trying to say.
That is it, sir.
But why did you say it's a witch doctor? That is is a con man, is a witch doctor? Just because of the sex, or what are the other things that confirms to you that this man is a black magic guy?
Sometimes when some people, they always cry or pray, they will always pray, oh God of my pastor, help me. You have to be very careful. You don't know the kind of God your pastor is serving.
Right.
You remember the time when Jacob was not yet sincere with God. He always cried, the God of my father.
Yeah.
But when he was calling the God of, God of Isaac, he did not know that Isaac was serving his stomach. Isaac was serving his stomach because God has given Isaac Abrahamic blessings to pass on to his children. But Isaac refused to release this blessing until they give him meat to eat. No wonder when God was talking multi-generational blessings with Jacob, Jacob would just say, God, so far you provide for me what to eat and what to wear. But until God met with him, that is when he started calling God El Elohim Israel, and he built an altar. That is
we have limited time, so you better answer the question I asked, because otherwise our time will be over.
All right, sir.